Welcome to my review of Doom, or at least a hardback review. So I haven't finished the game yet, not sure I ever will. Begins like all good games, well, not like this normally, but it certainly has an impact. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Halo, if for all those Xbox fans. But the game starts off you waking up in a facility on Mars, not really knowing what's going on. Though apparently someone may have inadvertently opened a portal to hell. Okay, maybe not so inadvertently, but hell definitely did come a-calling. But one thing you can be assured of, there's definitely gonna be some demon killing. Speaking of which, come to Papa. One down, a whole crap load left to come. So the levels, especially at the beginning, are really quite friendly. They're there to tease you into the whole gameplay. But it doesn't take long to show you just how crazy things can get. The advantage of the level design, early on at least, is that it gives you plenty of places to run, and running is what you'll be doing a lot of. The one thing I like about the enemy design is just how good they are at verticality. They are able to maneuver around the environment incredibly well. Other good thing about this game is the glory kill system. So, you know, getting close when they're vulnerable, and you can get huge bonuses of health, ammo, and armor. Not to mention the barrels. The world of Doom is, well, let's face it, it's pretty grim. And does feel a bit samey, but it really is just an environment for mayhem. The game really promotes the sort of close combat kills because you do get these bonuses. In fact, what you'll find is that you really need to fight close just to gain the extra health you need, because you will be taking lots of damage. Surprisingly, there's, well, not surprisingly, like the original Doom, there is a lot of gate puzzles, and that does provide a bit of an interesting dynamic because the rest of the game is just so chaotic. Having these gate puzzles can be a little bit weird and mess with the overall flow of the game. The maps can be quite complex as well, so one of the advantages that you get is that whilst you do have an automatic mapping capability, you can do these auto map finds, which will give you the entire game level. Particularly useful when looking for secret levels. Doom is also famous for having a whole range of different secret levels. Doom 2016 has, of course, some retro levels from the original Doom. At least the layouts. Brings back a lot of memories. But for the most part, you know, as you progress through the game, the levels just get bigger and bigger. And by that I mean just more full on. Full on. As I sort of said, it really does give you a death cage kind of environment. There's no escape. You can't hide anywhere. And most probably 9 times out of 10, the best course of action is to run. Thankfully, you can outrun pretty much everything, though you have to be careful not to waste your ammo, because there's very little of it. Sometimes you can make a mistake about what sort of gun you got chosen, because that pistol is not going to take out that. have to say, Hell Knights were the one enemy that really got me initially. Perfect choice for the chainsaw. The chainsaw is brilliant because it just drops a whole heap of health, ammo and armor. However, there are some problems with using the chainsaw, which we'll discover very soon. Keep them. Chainsaw time. Whoops. No fuel. Chainsaws run out of fuel very quickly, which is most probably a good thing because they do give you essentially a one kill capability. So this is not a game to give you a break. Once things start happening, they just keep happening. The real challenge here is not running out of ammo. Health, you have the advantage of being able to pick up by doing these glory kills. Ammo is very scarce, however. I'm not sure if running backwards is generally a good tactic. Point blank range blasting, just a little bit better. However, you can expect to die just a few times in this game. So once you move out of Mars, you actually get transported to Hell, of all places. And so the game levels are a little bit more varied. But they all run on basically the same principle, so the construction is reasonably predictable, but I do find some of the maps to be fairly convoluted, and even with the auto map feature it can take a lot of effort to navigate yourself around. One of the challenges I found with the game also is that I tend to play cover shooters, so being able to sort of sneak out, take some shots, get back into cover is very difficult. This is not a cover shooter game. You don't move fast enough to be able to escape or avoid the incoming fire, and there are also no safe zones. So this is a little bit more how this should be played. Go in fast, go in hard, get close enough that you can actually get the glory kill before the time runs out. Good old Cacodemon. Thankfully, when you've got a rocket launcher, not so scary. In the original Doom, they were so horrible. Now this level was one that really got me. I found this so difficult. Mainly because of these things. The summoners are particularly heinous. They essentially just are able to call in more and more demons, so you really need to kill them straight away. And it took me so long to work out in this level how to get to them as fast as possible without overloading the rest of the level with a whole bunch of other nasties. I can't even remember how many times I died here. And that's one of the things with this game, is that you have to get used to dying a lot, and that can be a little bit tiring after a while, surprisingly. The weapon choices are reasonably varied. You do get power-ups and mods for the weapons, which are nice. Adds a lot of variety to it. but there's nothing more disappointing than having a really nice gun and running out of ammo. And this is why you tend to run out of ammo. Especially when you find something like this. Did I say good memories? Definitely good memories. Oh, and don't get me started on the Lost Souls. These used to give me the creeps. But they're actually not that hard to kill. And so that's the sort of this game is. Individually, the enemies aren't that hard to kill, but you put a whole heap of them together, and the memories aren't so good anymore. So, like Doom, it really does benefit a lot from the nostalgia. If you played the original Doom, the game is so frenzied. There's just so much happening. It's just crazy. It's a great one-person player, fantastic frame rate. The AI is actually pretty good. It is so fun, but so hard. But unfortunately, some of the levels do lack a bit of variety, and when it's hard, it's just crazy hard. And unfortunately, you can't save manually. You can only save at certain checkpoints. And some of the maps are just so painful to explore. And it really adds some unevenness to the pacing. Overall, I'd give this an 8.9. It is a brilliant game, but you really have to get good or get dead.